Hey, what's up guys? Gemini back with another video. Today to talk about we're going to look at self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. Hey, what's up guys? Gemini back with another video, and as always, you can follow me on my Facebook. That's Gemini Flair. And I am going to answer all those messages I have in my box. So I will get your messages. I've been really bad about answering my Facebook messages, but I will get to that. I got a shitload of questions and just comments and people want to chat. So I will get to you guys. So don't think I'm ignoring you. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Gemini888. What I want to talk about in this video is, you know, now that John Cena has 15 titles, and of course, you know, Ric Flair has 16, people are kind of comparing the two, and most people are saying that John Cena's 15 titles don't measure up to Ric Flair's 16 titles. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I don't think John Cena's 15 titles have meant nearly as much as Ric Flair's 16 titles. In my opinion, Ric Flair was, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge John Cena fan, as you guys know, and I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. But Ric Flair's title runs, 16 title runs, he actually had more like 19 or 20, but Ric Flair's title runs and the way he won the title was much more memorable than Cena. And Ric Flair, whether he worked heel or face, he always had the fans behind him. And you know, Ric Flair worked. Now we'll say this: Ric Flair worked in a different time in wrestling, pre-Attitude Era. You know, the Attitude Era kind of changed the fans. It kind of changed the fans' views on wrestlers and storylines. I mean, before the Attitude Era, wrestlers would lay on the mat with another wrestler for 15 minutes and put an arm lock on, or a headlock, and the fans wouldn't chant boring, boring. But then when everything became shotgun TV, you had to be quick. The matches had to be quicker. Everything had to be quicker. You weren't really capable of having a 15-minute on the mat match anymore because the crowd had changed from when Ric Flair wrestled. So it was a different crowd back when Ric Flair won all his titles. It was just, to me, it was just more memorable. And Ric Flair's title runs were longer. You know, for instance, I mean, Ric Flair beat, to me, a lot better wrestlers. He beat Vader and Harley Race and Dusty Rhodes and Sting and, you know, Ronnie Garvin. You know, Ric Flair just beat a lot better quality wrestlers than, say, Cena's beat for that title. I mean, if you look at Cena's first title, he beat JBL, you know, in a kind of a bad match. You know, and a lot of Cena's title wins were just kind of just bad matches. And that's coming from a Cena fan. Now, if you go back and watch Ric Flair's, you know, all his title wins and stuff, his title wins were always good matches. I don't think he ever won the title once in a bad match. Maybe in late 2000 from Hulk Hogan and whatnot. But I don't think that John Cena's 15 titles will ever measure up to Ric Flair's 16 titles. I mean, I think that Ric Flair will always be regarded as the guy who's had the championship, you know, the most. And even though Cena has 15, I don't think people look at Cena as 15-time champion. I think people, I know one thing. I don't want Cena to pass Flair and win it 16 times. I don't want that, because they're basically saying that John Cena is better than Ric Flair, which is so false on so many levels. I mean, Ric Flair is, you know, better on the microphone and a better wrestler and can wrestle better matches and more entertaining than John Cena, and that's coming from a John Cena fan. I mean, Cena's stronger, and Cena's done a lot of great things. I mean, he's had a lot of great matches, you know, with Edge and CM Punk. I mean, Cena's not a bad wrestler. Cena's actually a pretty good wrestler. You know, he's wrestled a lot of good matches, like what he did with Shawn Michaels in England a few years ago, and the match at WrestleMania 23 was really good. And The match with Umaga at the Royal Rumble years ago was really good. I mean, Cena's had a lot of really big moments and good matches, but his 15 title wins will never, to me, measure up to Ric Flair. I don't think that Cena could lace Ric Flair's boots. And I don't think that Cena's 15 titles mean nearly as much as Ric Flair's 16 titles. It just doesn't sound right. Ric Flair is 16-time world champion, and then you have John Cena, 15-time world champion. It's a joke. You know, I'm trying to be nice because I'm saying John Cena's 15 titles are a joke, with the exception of like maybe the first, second, and third, maybe the fourth. You know, back in 2005, 2006, 2007 when he was champion. I mean, he had one title run. You know, one year-long title run, which I thought was really good. I thought that was when Cena was in his prime. But then him and Orton just started switching the belt back and forth every other month, and it just got dumb. And him and Orton have both had that belt too many times. And Orton or Cena can't lace Ric Flair's boot. Ric Flair's 16 means so much more to the wrestling fans because Ric Flair was a real wrestler. He was the icon in wrestling, and John Cena will never be that icon ever. He'll never be able to measure up to Ric Flair's legendary status. Never. Even with the heel turn, Cena will never had what Ric Flair had. And those 15 titles, a lot of them are trash. You know, a lot of them are just trash. No offense, and I'm a Cena fan, but none of Ric Flair's title wins, except maybe the last one, were trash. So, anyways, that's my thought on Ric Flair and John Cena comparing the 15 titles to 16 titles. And quite frankly, there is no comparison. Gemini, peace.